I'm going to tell all of you like this. You're not weak. You're not defeated. You're not this person now that you don't want to be. You are thinking about how you used to feel. You were probably like, I wish I could have stayed the way I was, and now I'm this person. It's no secret that when you're diagnosed with inner ear problems, eustachian tube dysfunction issues, tinnitus, it starts to creep in on you. It starts to affect you mentally. It makes you have anxiety for no reason. It makes you feel like anything that goes into your life, anything that you have planned, you can't do. It makes you a shell of the person you used to be. And in fact, what it does is it starts to make you believe that you're a weak person. And I want all of you right now to know that that's not the case at all. This is a part of the process, and it's not a friendly one. I struggled with this same condition for 3 years. And during those 3 years, I didn't know what was happening to me. I didn't know if I was in the early stages of something bigger coming, and I didn't know if I was going to stay this way forever. Now, a lot of you are having these thoughts, thousands of thoughts. All of us every day have thousands of thoughts going through our mind, and we don't know how our life's going to go. But when you get this condition, it's more than just an irritant. It's more than just like, oh, I have a problem with my ear. It's becoming who you are. It's starting to embellish all the things that you used to do. You can't do those things anymore. You feel you cannot do those things anymore. And this video is really to help all of you with your anxiety. The anxiety is creeping up. That's why there are thousands of people in groups every single day asking questions. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? It's no secret. This is becoming a major problem. And I don't think the necessary hands are attached to this problem to try to figure out why does this happen. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's only a matter of time that you get rid of this problem. You get rid of the eustachian tube dysfunction. You get rid of the tinnitus. You get rid of the buzzing, ringing, chirping, whatever. There's sounds going on in your ear that are trying to drive you nuts every single day. And what makes it worse is that your personality begins to change right before your eyes. You become this person that's irritable about everything, worried about the next move, worried about going here and scared to go there. And what makes it worse is the people around you, the loved ones, the friends, the family, the neighbors, co-workers. They're like, what is wrong with you? And if you've been good enough to hide it, you start suffering a lot more because you've been hiding everything. You go on about your day pretending everything's okay to the outside world, and maybe only opening up to a few here and there that are in your household, because the only way you do that, and the only reason why you do that, is because you have no choice. Well, I'm here to tell you, when you begin to live a life like that, it can almost feel like all odds are against you. There's no way for you to get out of it. In fact, your brain and your mind will make you think that you're in this little capsule of negativity and evil, that you're just going to stay right there and you're not going to get out of it. You're not going to break out of this problem. See, and when others watch this video that have never been through this, but they may know someone that's going through this, they can't understand, they can't even fathom what this actually means. It's like a secret society of how you feel amongst of a bunch of people that have gone through this can truly understand what it does to your mental world, what it does to your self-esteem, your confidence, your belief system. You start to deteriorate right before everyone's eyes, and everyone around you may minimize it because it's just literally a small problem. You're not bleeding, you're not suffering, you haven't lost maybe significant weight. Nothing really on the physical spectrum is really alarming to anyone out there, so they don't see the prevalence of trying to, why panic about this? And so my mission is to not only advocate for those people out there, and quite frankly, the number is continuously rising. With modern day technology, with work at home, with remote life, with stress going on, and just the overwhelming population growing and not getting a resolution is making this condition go longer and longer and longer and longer. And every time a new person's diagnosed with this condition, it's just making the problem harder to treat, because there's so many people struggling with it and not enough people trying to figure out why and for how long. All these unknowns, all these question marks are very challenging. And some of you watching this video may wonder, well then, you have all this knowledge, how do I get rid of it? I wish I could answer that in 20 words or less, but it's really challenging to answer that question. A lot of you have come to me through email, through just messaging me on the website, my main website. And it's hard to really tell you, I'm not sure how to heal you like that. That is the key. Everyone has a different scenario. Everyone has a different pathway. That's what makes it also challenging with this condition, is that no one's in the same position. I've never met two people in the same exact position. One person is dealing with more of the clicking sounds. Some people are dealing with more of the balance issues, like inner ear problems. Some people are triggered by caffeine. Some people are triggered by pre-existing conditions. And then others have had injuries. And so there are so many avenues on how to get rid of this condition, how to finally put it behind you and move on to something else now, that it's really hard to just give everyone a one-size-fits-all remedy and hope that that's going to heal their problem. But what I have found to be the most satisfying piece of information, the most gratifying way to touch the masses, is that you have to have control over the mind. That is something that I preach and teach about a lot, because when you don't have control over the mind, which is not something that you can easily obtain to do in just this video alone, but the problem is when you don't have a grasp of the mind, the mental aspect of this condition, it doesn't matter where you started with it. It doesn't matter if you came through this condition with an injury, with allergies, with a sinus infection, with dental problems. If the mind is off, everything else is going to be off. So my purpose of this video is to attempt to give everyone a one-size-fits-all, but ultimately the ingredients are up to all of you out there. But as far as developing the framework, the mind is really the part, is what's going to help heal everybody through all of this. I didn't understand that at first. I didn't understand how can an ear problem be so strongly attached to me that my mind has to work overload and overtime to get rid of this little ear thing that's going on with me for so long. I sat in the ER at 3 in the morning, having to go to work at 5 or 6 o'clock that same day, wondering what the heck is this? Why did I even drive myself over to the ER? And that's the thing. I got to a point where I was controlled by my symptoms. Every nudge in my chest, every little trigger in my sinus or my head or my migraine, every little thing that was going on with me prompted me to get up, grab my keys and wallet, shoes, and get the heck out of here and find somewhere to go, because I don't know what's going to happen after the fact. So everyone always tells you in training courses and videos and things, if you feel certain things, don't wait, go, you know? And so I took that to heart. I said, oh, I feel something weird, I'm going to go. I had no control over my mind. I had no control over how to do things at this point. At this point, I was being driven by symptoms. And I think a lot of you are being driven by your symptoms. And you're basing your life off of your symptoms. You're basing your life off of how you feel currently. And in fact, you have gotten so good at tracking how you're feeling that you can almost predict what you're going to feel in that day alone. And although that may seem like a superpower to be able to be in touch with your body and the way you feel, it's actually a crutch, because you're so hyper focused on what you're feeling negatively that it's driving your every move. It's driving what you say, it's driving what you do, it's driving where you go. And this is the problem with this condition, that it's in the driver's seat and it's taking you everywhere, and you don't know how to get back into the driver's seat. You're stuck. You're not even in the passenger seat anymore. You're now in the trunk, trying to figure out, how do I get out of this thing? How do I get back into the driver's seat? Well, I'm gonna tell you in little pieces here. First thing you need to do is you need to be aware that this condition is just trying to punk you. It's not actually going to really truly defeat you. It's just a bully. It's basically trying to take ownership of this. And I say this, I say they, I don't have a name, ETD, I'll say that. ETD is trying to bully and punk you into whatever it thinks you should do. And as you go through this problem, you'll start to either command to it and worship to it, or you'll say, I'm not doing that, I'm doing this. I'm not going here today, I'm going here today. The biggest thing, the first step here, and this is all outlined too as well in both of my books actually. The first step is Do not let the condition of what you feel dictate what you are trying to do. So, for example, I always use this as an example. I had a very great discussion with a young man that joined a discussion. We had a live stream, and he joined the live stream. We had a nice discussion, and he basically had a wedding to go to. And I was very moved by his story. However, he had been postponing this wedding for X amount of days. And so the condition grew stronger. It grew more of a force. It was more in control. It was more behind the wheel and controlling him more, because the wedding in itself is it was his wedding. The wedding in itself is the high influence. It's a major event. And if you're postponing something major in your subconscious, in your brain, in your body, is something big for you, and you're still postponing it, you're transferring all that major power, all that major, the emotions attached to it, you're transferring it over to this condition. Depending on how large this event is and how important and impactful it is, you're taking all that energy and you're transferring over to this condition. Now, when I talk about this condition, when I talk about ETD, I talk about how, depending on how, if you have some kind of engagement to go to, you have some kind of event to attend to, that you're a very important guest to whatever this thing is, you need to get to this event. If you've already put it into your heart system, you've already put it into your body that you need to get to this, whatever this is, but this condition is now talking you out of it. If you, as such, just a little bit postpone or say, I don't think I can make it, you're talking yourself out of it, you're like, I really don't feel like I'm equipped for this right now, you are already kind of losing the battle. And that's why I'm warning everyone. Yes, warning is the word to use right now. I'm literally warning everybody that is the moment that the power is shifting over into the condition, and you're starting to slide out of that driver's seat and slide over to the passenger seat, and then eventually out of the car into the trunk. And so that's kind of how it happens. It really depends on the level of importance that whatever it is you need to do is. It doesn't always have to be an event, a wedding or a birthday. It can be a travel arrangement that you want to do. You know, there's some kind of, whatever emphasis you put on something that's high, if you begin to exit out of that mindset to going to the whatever that is, you're losing the battle. And that's the first step. That's why a lot of you out there feel defeated right now. There was some kind of prior engagement that you've already committed to, that you have now neglected because of how you think you may feel, or how you think this condition will drive you away from that you didn't partake. And when you didn't partake, you transferred your power over. Now, anything smaller or more minimal as that event is now just going to be automatically, I'm not doing it. Because if the higher event didn't pull you over there to it, nothing smaller will. Basically, a coffee date will not work with a friend. That's way too small. It's just a little meetup, someone that you always see. I'm not talking about a long lost friend or family member. I'm saying somebody that you always see. That coffee date can't even compete with you being able to attend that and commit to that. How the wedding didn't work, how will the coffee date work? You see what I'm doing here? You have to commit. You have to commit to the large events, the smaller events, the more strenuous events, the less strenuous events. Like hiking might be to some strenuous, but it's something that bothered me because of the idea of going out into the wilderness, into nature, being out there by myself or with someone else, and not having access to an immediate vehicle, like to get into a vehicle and get somewhere immediate attention somewhere, just freaked me out, and I just kept canceling all the time. I was like, not going. I'm not going out. Anywhere where I can't get into a vehicle and go to an emergency within like 20 minutes, I'm not going. I'm not doing it, especially not on a plane. So if you have fear of flying, it's not the fear of flying, it's the fear of how you're gonna feel flying. That's the biggest problem right there. You have to commit to the engagement. You got to continue on with it, because I tell you right now, it seems like you're making the better decision. It seems like you're doing the right thing. You're telling yourself, well, no, I don't want to go out there and become vulnerable or become a problem or a mess for someone else to deal with. I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to stay home. It seems like the right idea. It seems like the perfect thing, the more responsible thing to do. But you don't realize that that problem is growing from within. And every time you cancel something, it's getting more power and it's getting stronger. So for all of you out there that are 5+ years in, I don't have a lot of you out there that are 5+ years in, but for those of you that I have spoken to that are 5+ years in or 10+ years in, you know, think back, really think back. What did I skip on that was huge for me, and I just said, you know what, I'm not doing that. It's got to be huge. Something you skipped on in the past that was huge for you, that it just wasn't enough. There just wasn't enough gumption in you to say, I can do this. There just wasn't enough yet for you at that time to say, I'm going. I don't care how I feel. It wasn't enough. I've talked to people who've missed their child's birth because of this condition. It sounds unreal, but it's true. And I can tell you right now, there's not a lot of things in life that compare to missing a child's birth. There isn't any that I can think of. So yeah, this problem is big. So the biggest topic and the biggest answer to all of the questions out there, how do I get rid of it? Let's start at step 1 first. Are you going and committing to things, good or bad, things you don't even want to do? Even things you don't want to do, you got to do it. You know, even things you do want to do, you got to do it. First step is commit efficiently to those things, indefinitely. Try to get to as many as you can. Over time, your confidence will build. You'll go through with whatever those events are. You'll go through them, and you'll actually realize after all that I felt a little weird, but that was all right. Yeah, it bothered me a little bit, but I was all right. Yeah, it was a little annoying, but I'm okay. As you develop more of those, you start piling those up. You start collecting more of those moments. Collecting, and do it in privately. You don't have to even bring it up to anybody. Just do it in privately. I can't tell you how many times I sat at an events table with drinks on the table and everybody laughing, and I'm sitting there just tugging at my ear. When I got home, my confidence was built, though. It was building. It was growing within me, and by the months, I was able to just go and not think about it anymore, because I had something to trace back my thoughts to. I said, I went to that. That was like 4 or 5 hours. I'm able to be okay. I drove all the way over here. I was a little uneasy at first, but I'm okay. I made it back home. I'm safe, and everybody's safe. You have to build a collective a moment of events that you conquered mentally in order to build a sufficient case to talk your own self into that you can do it. And sometimes it takes a few swings at it. It's not going to be something you do right away. Don't go to one event and come back and say, well, I tried. You got to do it over time. That is the start, my friends. Start with the mind. Start with the will to do it, the will to go. And when you do that sufficiently, you do that consistently, over time, it's almost like the condition believes that you're just too much stronger. You're just too strong for me. I will stop bothering you, and it will actually start to diminish. I saw it diminishing right before my eyes. I would wake up, do things normally, put what I felt in the back burner, and it actually gave up and stopped bothering me, because that's what it will do. That is how you get rid of eustachian tube dysfunction. In a nutshell, that's how you do it. I have tons of books about it. I have tons of products I recommend, but at the end of the day, you can't drive the car without the key. Well, maybe now you can, but you can't drive the car without the wheels. And you have the wheels and the will to get through this condition. I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I will catch you on the next video.